Hey, this is like 2 a.m. and I'm trying to walk again. I'm kind of disturbed emotionally. It's affecting my productivity. It has something to do with like work. Before I started trusting people, it was hard for me. Before I started bringing people close, it was harder for me. I started up my first company when I was in school. I had my friends stole my source code, became my competitor, employed lots of people who backstabbed me when business were down. I started seeing people's true color. Ever since then, I've been having a very thick phobia. The moment I'm working with people, I'm usually very cautious. If it looks like you want to do something funny, I want to act quick because I don't want to be in that position again. I think I would have finished up this but in less than 2 to 3 months within this year. Like, let's say the beginning of this year, I would have finished up all this. Although I started thinking about creating a UI, I think that was after I made my update around August. So August stroke September, I think I had, in fact, I've just been having personal challenges. You know, I need to start looking for a way to numb my emotions. I feel as a as a creative, I don't even like stating facts. If I state facts, people who are not in that fact, who wish they could be there, who don't get there, will start seeing it as brag. It's just like when I say, as a creative thinker, you should be isolated. It's because I know, yes, I'm creative. I get creative when it comes to coding. But when I say it now, somebody who has low self-esteem will say I'm being proud, when in reality, that is what I'm going through. I'm overthinker. Like, I think too much. And sometimes when I think about something, it affects me. Like, something is affecting me right now that I wish I could tell, but I've known better not to tell. And it's something related to work. It's not a challenge on code, it's something personal. I don't like complaining. 48 laws of power says, I think there's a rule that simply says you should stay away from the forgotten that bad rule. Oh. It's something about stay away from the unhappy, or is it the unholy, or is it the unruly. It practically means anybody where it's in there is a day bad for avoid them. So I like showing the side of me that is positive, because I feel there's so much negativity in the world. People are going through a whole lot, and so you should try to be a source of hope for some people, even if you still go through your own personal pain. And contrary to what people think or say, some people tell you social media is a fake life, everybody's smiling, everybody's pretending, you should not believe what you see there. The real truth is social media is giving you hope. It's letting you know that the boy you used to know before is now a big man, or right? People say it's pressure. I think I don't understand how their brain works. Yeah, their pressure is when somebody is making them to do certain things. But some of these people tell you what they do to make it, right? Like when you ask me now, my mentors are people like Elon, people like Mark, people like Jeff, people like Kelvin, people like Larry. I'm talking about the top names, the top software guys: Larry Page, Mark Zuckerberg, Elon Musk, Jeff Bezos. I call them by their first name. Now, these are people whom I know have read their stories, and they had a whole lot of challenges, and they're where they are today, you know. And I still know a lot of Nigerians as well, people whom I knew maybe like 8, 9, 10 years ago, who had a startup. The startup has now turned into billions, right? And I see them buying new houses somewhere in Chicago, in LA. And in as much as I know I have the little I've not gotten those things, but am I upset? I will tell you no, because I drag motivation from them. Are they going through their own personal thing? Yes, they are. They're going through their own ups and downs. Should they be telling us the ups and downs they're going through? No, of course, because me myself, I have a personal experience. There was a point I was having issues in my marriage. I came online and I was explaining, because they were saying, "Oh, you have to talk to people. You're always buckling up. You're always keeping things yourself." And I started talking. Few weeks later, somebody had an altercation with me. They started using my marital challenges to insult me. because I had come online to share my problem. Then I stopped, and then I moved into sharing business dreams. I had a lot of strategies, and each day I shared, people would always come up with different suggestions, things that will actually propel me more to get those my dreams. And I would be happy because I was sharing and I was learning. It was a two-way thing. You share your dreams, people come in, they still inspire you. You still have fans. I mean, I made lots of fans. There were a lot of people who loved my content then. But I was listening to some naysayers, the ones who would tell me that you talk too much. I mean, these people want you to please them. They don't want you to talk about goals and being serious. If I come every day and I'm giving you plenty story, so you get one girl where I can't jam today. I can't carry the girl, can't go this thing. Or one cook and bull story that doesn't relate. Or maybe a bad story. Today I was going on the road, I saw some people, they pulled out a gun and I was now running. Or one irrelevant story. The moment it turns into something that is motivation that will make them leave their lazy routine where they don't do stuff to start actually doing something, then it's offensive. It's you trying to be unnecessarily a motivational speaker that nobody asks you to be. But when I'm telling you, I don't want to derail. What I'm practically trying to say is I stopped sharing because people were not really liking the positive parts. You know, the positive part felt like I was pressuring them, even though I never even to arrive. How I carry pressure you for money way I don't save, can't carry buy one motor. Now the car they make you the visa they pressure you. Car way they see me talk for my state. Just like I'm talking about Ferrari. I said I would get a Ferrari since last year. I didn't get the Ferrari this year. I've been putting home my whole work. Anybody who knows me that knows I wanted to get a Ferrari that sees me getting it next year now, or maybe anytime, any day, would know okay, this person has been putting in the work. But that's not what naysayers want to see. What they want to tell you now is you're pressuring them, not you're motivating them, not you're inspiring them. And then when you finally share the challenges you have, it falls into people using it against you. Like that one was the one that shocked me like crazy when someone was using my so they don't see people they use something about they use something against person. But done on me say when I can't date depressed that period, they talk about my marital woes. Say person if you can't carry and cost me for normal business transaction way I not going there available for like few days because I was really going through a whole lot. And when I'm actually going through a lot, I stay away from work. I try to figure it out. What makes people depressed, makes people suicidal, makes people start making stupid mistakes is when you need to shut down and rethink, but somehow you want to just keep it aside. Now I keep aside sometimes if it's work related and I have a I have a deadline. I could push it out of my head with hopes to come back. But the truth is that I try as much as possible to come back. Because if you don't come back, your brain forgets it, but not your mind. So after a while, those plenty things you have not attended to will come back to haunt you, and that's called depression. So they say talk out because when you say that and somebody advises you and they help you calm it down, there will be no room for depression. So now I'm faced with the position of should I share what I'm going through at the moment, or will I have one naysayer or one oluku that wants to tell me how I'm pressurizing him? He doesn't see the part that I work all through the night. He doesn't see the part that I would build, plan, strategize. He sees the part that I have not saved up some money and I want to get something nice for myself. He's not telling me how I should take the money to give the less privilege. Coming in from somebody who doesn't give his neighbor salt or spoon. Coming in from somebody who won't let you charge phone in his house. Coming in from somebody who doesn't even help his family. They're all complaining that he's the last person to call to. But he's online telling other people how to give to the less privileged. As if you even give him the money now and say go and shut the less privileged, he won't hide, enter one way, find another shortcut and leave the call. Just imagine those people shouting, oh Davido, this 200 million, give it to the less privileged. Call them now, give them that 100 million naira. If less privileged go even see 10%. And somehow this whole thing affects me because I know that my solution is outside, because Nigeria doesn't have therapy. Most of the ways I've been able to overcome my issues where when I share it online, someone happened to listen, someone who had there's rarely something you're going through that someone hasn't gone through it. I don't know if this camera is capturing. Yeah, I think it's capturing. There's really something you're going through now that someone hasn't gone through that thing before. And so when you share your problems, most times you attract people who have gone through similar stuff, giving you a easy escape. And it helps. Like when I was talking about my company this year, I had lots of advice. Somebody called me, they were teaching me organization chart, how I should strategize my company, who I should employ, where I should get them from, what I should be looking out for. And these things helped me to build my company. It did not fully get me going at one click. I still had to go back, reshuffle, change, but it was the best gift I ever had. Now, if, however, I had not shared my challenges in my business online, I don't think those Samaritans, those good Samaritans who came in with their beautiful suggestions would have ever located me. Maybe I would have practically been where I was. I think I've talked about why I have fears sharing my problems, but now I just have to share it. Early today, I got a call from someone at the office, and I don't want to go into details, but it was a call that made me spoke for like an hour. I don't know if you hang up the call, I don't know, but part of me talks much when I'm emotional, so I must have actually talked for a long period of time because it wasn't really making sense to me. When I'm giving out or when I'm out for people, I have a very small circle. I don't really like much people around me because I have this hawk, um, protective provider kind of mentality. Meaning, if I'm with people and these people are in my care, my custody, somehow psychologically, I start feeling like they are my responsibility. So a part of me starts, trying to make sure, even though I'm living my life, especially when it's work related, or the person is linked to me personally, I will always want to make sure these people are okay. Now, some days I have skip. Skip means I can make this video now in the next 4 days and I will not come online. I won't even be on Instagram. I won't even know what Instagram is like. I will just be on my IDE coding. And because of the fact that I can skip for days working, I sometimes have things going wrongly in my business. Like there are points when I would come back to my business and I will notice so many things I'd rather not say. Because one of the rules is an employer should never complain about his employee because you can easily sack them. And because it's a bad decision when you complain. And because the only people who complain are small business owners or self-employed. But if you want to be a company that you would have investors invest with you in the nearest future, avoid complaining. So investors don't go and watch your future a few years ago and notice you have hiring problem. It might make somebody who wants to invest with you do not. So the world is just telling everybody to max their pain and smile, and then complains people are not being honest with their pain. But I'm going to be honest with my pain. And so I had a couple of, I've seen lots of ungratefulness that irks me. I've seen people whom, like, before they met me, they were making less than 50% of what I'm paying them. So I'm even making like 20% of what I'm paying them, 10% of what I'm paying them. And somehow I felt giving them the job, was my own way of helping them, especially people who I knew. People who I don't know don't ever give me issues. It's only people whom I know on a personal grant that would always give me one form of ungratefulness. Now it makes perfect sense why certain billionaires would never want to employ people they've known. You see an billionaire right now, he will tell you he doesn't want to work with people who he knows on a personal ground, except these people are partners who want to partner or do business with him, like investments. But he doesn't want to directly work with people who he has known. And it wasn't really making sense to me because I felt people you have known are people who you should trust more. Little do I know that there are people who would really want to goof up more because people you don't really know feel like they don't really know you. And so what they see is what they want to adapt. They don't really have any before image or before knowledge to use to calculate you. But people who you grow up with, it's very different. If they knew you when you were in school as somebody who was bright, they would say you were always, they have always known you since, you act like you're brighter than everybody. There's always this, I call it inferiority complex around people who, when they're close to bright people and those bright people talk, they feel they want to do ITK. When they don't get it figured out, they're all laughing. I don't know, everybody's laughing. And then you just come up and you start explaining what they don't all know. They will hate you because you just came in now like you're the brainiac. How come everybody doesn't know? You don't know. You like showing yourself, right? Except maybe it's something that will benefit all of them. Like, how do we open this thing? Or how we open this to make everybody welcome? You can't come and come to us, but I be open and but I go work and pass, And then it's fun. Everybody's dragging the thing with you, so you don't work more than them. But the moment it's something that makes them look like they're not sound enough and makes you look sound enough, just know you're accumulating enemies. So if you were bright in school and you're employing people after years from now, except those people who are dragging first with you. You all know say one, they go always they feel say if you caution them for what they did, they'll fear they know you now. That's how you were behaving then. You're always talking down on people. Because the real fact is people who really are very bright most times are people who obey instructions. I mean, why can't you do your assignments? Why can't you read? It's not something they instructed you to do. Why were you playing all through? It means you're not taking those things serious, right? So it's normal that if you're a serious person, you'll be easily hiked with unserious people. Now, if you were doing that when you were a child and you now employed somebody in your company years later, just know that they will always bring their old memory. And the worst part of bringing the old memory is the fact that they will want to rub it like it's your personality. That's one. Two, if they know you as being dull in school and now you're bright, it's another problem on its own. Because now it simply means you were dumb before, you don't have sense before. How come you're not the one owning all these things, leading all these things? They know you before, you couldn't even pass. In fact, you were bottom of the class. So how come you're not doing outstandingly well? There's something wrong. How come it's here and I'm here? No matter how you do it, they would at any little point in time want to tell people how your boss self, our boss self, he used to be the. Now it now simply means that okay, fine. This particular memory they have of you before would at a point play a role. Now I said maybe you were somebody who is a pleaser, but then even though you're a pleaser, when it comes to business, you can't really please them anymore. A pleaser means maybe when you were in school, then even the ones you don't talk so they don't feel bad. You please them. They always coming through, being so nice. So now you're employing them right now. You can't please them because to an extent you're in a professional field where everybody has a duty to do. And then somehow if you actually show anybody any professional kind of treatment, I mean you start making other people who don't know you in person feel like they're being left behind. And the person you're even giving that privilege will end up most times abusing it because then they want to go through certain things they were not supposed to do ordinarily and target that you're my G, you knew me from somewhere. I'd employed people that I had known before. In case you're wondering where this whole thing is coming from. And I'm not happy with it. That's the summary. I'm not happy. I saw certain things that doesn't make sense to me. And it's affecting me. But I think now I shared it, I'm fine. You see why don't I like sharing something? Sometimes I just want to record these videos and keep them on my phone. Because I mean saying it out loud, saying it out of existence, it takes the pain out of me. This country, I don't know, it's not just this country, I think it's the world now. Or I think maybe I just need a therapist. Or maybe I should just even be a therapist because I've actually gone through all this bullshit a whole lot. So I think I would know how to talk people out of it. I make good money from it. I had people pay hourly money from, but I mean the money is not even my problem. My problem is I'm a very productive person. But whenever I'm disturbed, I can't work. Imagine where I have lots of businesses, but yet still, because of a particular thing that is bothering me, I can't be effective. And one thing about therapy as well is it helps take out the pain from you, but you have to be able to explain, talk, and express. And that is why it's difficult because the more you get further in life, the more it's difficult to explain. I see celebrities all the time going through depression. It's because when you're going through depression, you practically need someone to talk you out so you can come back to being productive. But if an artist, a celebrity is going through whatever they're going through, they can't talk to people, so they become unproductive, they start losing money, they start looking useless. Before you know, the person has fallen out. I swear to God, if half of the celebrities had a therapist, maybe things would have been better. So talk to a friend, talk to a friend. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? I don't want to talk to a friend. I don't need a friend to understand me. I need somebody who has had that similar experience. That's why I'm bringing it online. If I cannot on this computer right now, I'm not going to call my technician guy. I'm not going to call my teacher who is a software developer. I will call either somebody who specializes on that thing, or I go to YouTube and say, I'm trying to do something, I cannot do it all. I search on Google, I'll see Stack Overflow, or I'll see a video on YouTube. That is how I've learned how to solve problems. I discovered that the easiest way to solve problem is to see somebody who has had an identical problem before. They will probably have a solution or a list of solutions they have tried that didn't work for them. So you know the one to avoid when you want to start looking for your own. But now the world is making it a very difficult place. People can't even share their problems again without having somebody who would want to use your pain against you. But the real truth is you can't really laugh me for something I've learned a lesson from. I think I learned that one um when I don't like talking about my personal thing anymore, but I still feel that is why everybody is dying. It's because they all have personal things bothering them, but they cannot speak. Everybody's putting on a mask. Nobody wants to really tell you their pain, so you don't use it against them. I'm calculating. I'm calculating if I'm going to upload this video, so somebody doesn't use it against me. What would even use against me? That I employed my friends. They were very ungrateful. God, it can't be like that they disturb. It can't be like that they complain. People when they talk all this talk. Oh, why they hungry? Oh, I beg. Should I complain? I've complained. That's another thing I have noticed about myself. If I'm going through something, the moment I say it now, I talk am. It go first come out from my mind. The next thing, the solution will come. Sometimes I don't even need people telling me. But I'll only upload this video now because I want people to learn from. My brain is talking to me right now. I'm trying to come up with solutions I did not come up with since morning. Okay? So what it's telling me right now is the fact that I shouldn't be upset. That I just said it. When I was talking about my friends being ungrateful, I was not thinking about how I was in school then. It was now I'm talking right now, I just figured out that it must have been what was going through. But I think school was a long time ago. So what could really be my problem? Maybe it's the fact that I was expecting something different. Like, while I was with the people I've known, I want to make sure they are okay around me. They're well taken care of. Even if, I'm not supposed to do certain things. I want to go out of my way, right? And I often feel this person will appreciate what I'm doing. And then it turns out that they will be so ungrateful that they will think you have not done anything. In fact, it's the one you have not done that they're holding hands for. And so they use the ones you have not done, ignoring the ones you have done, and that is what freaks me and gets me upset. But I don't really think it's actually the way I was then. I think why I should stop getting upset is the fact that I would always meet people like this, ungrateful people. And it is practically because the world is filled with more damaged people than people. I'm a damaged person too. What is my normal word? Product of pain. I try to live out of that damage. What do you call damage? At a very young age, after writing my exams, I didn't get what's it called again? Admission to study what I wanted. I went into medicine and surgery. They waffed me that my GP was too low. Went to another school. They waffed me. I went to like 3 schools, and they all told me you are dumb as fuck because I don't know shit about medicine and surgery. I would wake up at night and I would be crying. I would say, why is this not entering my head? Not till I started going back to what I love. Do you know how many programming languages I know? 11. I am proficient with 11 programming language, but I couldn't pass one semester course in medicine. Now, this is practically because, to an extent, to a very, very wild extent, I was going through a whole lot that period. I was not getting any form of encouragement, and I was not seeing myself as a medical doctor. So the motivation to read was not there. They're in class, they're bringing in one, they say we're going to the morgue to look at one dead body. And they want to be dissecting to show us the pancreas and the guts. Guts. So, if you had brought in a computer right now and tell me we're going to automate something using Raspberry Pi, using Python, using some sensor, Makachiku, I go day 24 hours. You sleep, homie. Have you watched that Mr. Ben, where he carry toothpick put for eye? I will make sure say my eye. If my eye dull, I will find tripod, keep camera, make a come back, watch how they carry do that thing. Because I'm so in love with it. So I think it's the part that I keep thinking about the knowledge I would get, right? That made me study more for computer science. But was I damaged? Yes, I was damaged, because when I was repeatedly falling out of lots of schools, my parents were not there for me. Things were not easy. People who don't even know shit about me, who had life on a platter of gold, had family support and all that, would always want to tell me how I should live my own life. People who can't really help me always want to have a bigger opinion of me. Everybody wants to pick up the bad side I am bad at, why they ignore the good side. And I grew up being one person people judged, people misunderstood. From the company that I opened, which is the first one, Renaps, was doing very well. But before it became very good, I know how people judge the hell out of me. People call me names, people, any little thing, if I'm creating a product and it's not just there, people are always eating me up. But finally, when the whole thing clears up, they can't even apologize, because some of them are so tired they cannot even say a word, because they've already concluded, judged, and now I've proved them wrong, so they feel ashamed, and I get nothing back. So, but I'm always in a position where I'm going through pain. I've been damaged. But how come? How did I overcome? Makachi, ma'am, I don't know. But all I know is, despite everything that life throws at me, despite everything, I think the only two things that has been keeping me going. The first one is the fact that if there is a will, there is a way. It's one very beautiful thing I read on Think and Grow Rich. Like, while I was studying Think and Grow Rich, my mom, she got married to another man. So my dad were not in talking terms. I was in school, it was my finals. I couldn't write exam. I had to drop out from SLT, Science Lab Tech. That was the last school I went to. So I couldn't meet up with the examination fees, and I was broke. Only thing I had was my laptop, one laptop like that. I think that laptop was a Toshiba laptop, Core i3 or Guinea or so. It was not too strong. But then I was learning PHP, how to create PHP very, very well. Like, advanced on PHP, create e-commerce site and all that. So I was reading this Think and Grow Rich, because I read some CEOs. They were all saying, "Oh, Think and Grow Rich, blah blah blah." It was a very nice book by, I think it was Andre Carnegie. No, Think and Grow Rich was Napoleon Hill's. Uh, um, Andre Carnegie's How to Influence Friends and Make People. I read a whole lot of books, so I know. And I read that side that said, if there is a will, there is a way. And this was when I had exams and I couldn't meet up. And I started thinking, okay, can something change overnight? Can I just make so much money? I will pay my tuition fees and I will do everything. Now, why this whole thing was happening, in school, they make mockery of you when you can write exams. So when everybody call it, there's how they do it then, they'll post people who are qualified to write the exam. My name doesn't come up with who has been qualified to write the exam. So when I tell you I'm damaged, I was, no. I'm not damaged. I was damaged, because I find a way to repair myself. So I think I should stop getting mad at people for giving me very negative attitude, because I must have scaled through the pain. I must have had the positive emotions, but I don't expect other people to. I can sit down all day, work all night. I can be in the midst of having 0 naira in my account, and I will look at you and tell you that tomorrow is going to be sunny. And tomorrow will come in and I won't see one kobo. I will tell you, one echi, and one echi there is nothing. But it happens over and over again. You won't see me ever talk less of myself till one day I'll tell you, Obiara, this morning, it has landed. I think despite all the pains, I'm able to think. Maybe that way has made me strong to be appreciative. That's why if somebody does something for me, I can kiss your leg, because nobody does it for me. But I think people who always have handouts, don't appreciate things. So why am I angry at my friends who are ungrateful? When the question should be, why don't I start finding people who will be grateful? I just took my anger away. I'm sharing this video. I'm not going to complain again. From next year, if you're telling me I want as your employee for a job, that's even the worst part. This, my friends, not like they had the best though. I think it's not even about the position the person is. I think I will start asking people about ungratefulness based on, I won't even say what I will do, because I know my company is going to get very big, and I know if people knows how I want to bring people close, they will start maxing it. It's just like a man saying, I want a woman that can do this or more. If you get money, every woman where they come, if they know something you like, now they go first put for their CV. but I think I've learned lessons. So the lesson number one: will I stop helping my friends? I think at the moment I want to stop. I think every single life I've lived before 2023 have been judged. And 2024, I want to start with people whom I know I will still be judged because it's a normal thing in life, but it will be people who will give me strength, people who will let me know that they appreciate me and love me, and people who will let me know that no matter what, they believe I can do it. People who, when I'm upset, they are upset. Now, how do I know this? It means I need to start coming up with different strategies. Because most of the people whom I'm complaining were ungrateful, I did not test them. I only believe I had known them for long. But how did I really know them? That you shared a timeline with somebody doesn't mean you know the person. You need to put people through certain tests. Now I see why wise men always put people through different tests. They don't give people free handout. They want you to go through some scrutiny. So I shouldn't really feel bad because it's not going to stop. I will still meet somebody who will be ungratefulness tomorrow. I will shut down this video, employ somebody on LinkedIn, and that's even the funny thing. Ungratefulness is when you do too much. I'm not doing it again. Why? Because I've also still learned some lessons. You don't get hot when you don't give much. I don't know if you feel me. You don't get hot when you don't give too much. Every woman who is crying right now of being betrayed, she's crying because she gave that man her best. The one who did not give will tell you fuck off. And the problem is, when you're complaining about people you gave your best, they think it's fun. They think they hurted you. Some will think, oh yeah, sorry now, okay, I'll do better. And they go back to hurt you again. But do you know the people they don't do that shit though? The people who they end up even being so mellow to giving their best is the one that doesn't give them any shit. So it means like the only time anybody as a CEO, the only time you can actually even start enjoying your life now is when you leave this the subtle act of not giving a fuck. And now you get to wonder why billionaires are quite very selfish. They don't care about anybody. Maybe it's things like this. They must have gone through certain things like this at the beginning of their timeline. And so then I said, oh, it's clicked. Maybe if I'm actually doing too much, expecting too much, I get hot. So why don't I try not to do too much? Don't expect too much. Don't promise too much. Just do the minimal that I know I would do and stay by rules and regulations. I honestly and sincerely wish I had known better. But I'm more happier now that I did not let my problem disturb me. I made this video and I'm sharing it. Please, if you're watching this video, I want you to understand something. I know you're a nice person. I know you might be ambitious. I know you might be serious. People will misunderstand you. People see people who are so serious as cocky. That is why you see all the billionaires. None of them is coming online. Go and check which billionaire posts often. No. They are afraid of talking because everybody thinks they're always trying to intimidate them. Dangote will post once in a blue moon, same as every billionaire you know. You think they're very busy. You think these people don't have things to share. They want to always share. But what would they want to say now that certain people who will not get offended or intimidated? Now, okay, imagine where I don't want to even derail, but I just want to tell you that if you're focused, you are working hard, there are 3 things I want you to do. First one, I want you to understand that no matter how you're nice to people, that people have short-term memory. Only few people are gifted with the memory of remembering what you have done. Now, I know that they say give without expecting. Those words are usually from very poor people who were just opportune. Because if these billionaires were giving without expecting, they would have had multiple failed business. Life is transactional. I don't know how long I'm going to stay. I can make this video right now, I will sleep and I will have a cardiac arrest. I can make this video now and tomorrow I'm driving out, I come out at the convention and a stray bullet hits my head. I can make this video right now and I'll meet somebody who hates me but pretends and they'll poison me and I will die. And all these things I said right now, I just feel out of many ways I might not be able to see next year at all. I'm not saying, don't start telling me God forbid, it's good. So you think every single day like it's your worst day. But if there's anything I'm really going to beg you of, is please, people have short memory for the good you have done for them. You want to be happy, don't go out of your way. Except the good you're doing is a way to repay back. I'm begging you. I know right now I'm putting you in a position where you're becoming a user. That means you only repay people. But it is better. It is better for me to thank people with appreciations of what they've done for me than for me to do for them, and when it's time for them to appreciate me, I get disappointment that will not make me be so sober. You see the way they carry the verse now. It is say if the person wey dey do shit for me do wetin equivalent, it is how go the verse. You think if I meet somebody right now who did so much that I can equate what I have done to what they have done, you think I'll be angry? It will be it will be equilibrium. But when you go out of your way for people who have not really given you a reason, I want you to understand that most of the times they have short-term memory. So don't feel bad where I'm feeling bad now. And I'm happy I will watch this video sometime, maybe if I ever want to feel bad in the future. And the second one I've actually learned is the fact that no matter what you do, and I repeat, no matter what you do not forgive anybody who is not apologetic. I regret not having a support, a family, an environment who taught me that if people show. Early this year I was telling how my dad used to make me unforgiving. Papa, sorry, oh, daddy, sorry. Thank God we reconciled this year. If there's anything I learned from you, is the fact you don't forgive people. I used to hate you about it. But now you were bearing grudges, but I'm cutting them off. That means my dad was so upset. He always has what you did to him. I don't want to know what you. In fact, the moment you offend me, I'm giving you a maximum of 24 hours to apologize. Then, if it's something, maybe maximum 72 hours. If you don't apologize within 72 hours, I don't want to hear it again. I feel anybody who takes so much time to come back is usually coming back for something, not because they're sorry. Maybe they feel there's something you can do for them, so they want to come back so they can benefit that thing. Maybe they're worried they're losing out on that thing. Maybe they want to use you back. There's something they want. That's why they're coming back. That's why if you mistakenly bring up that, if you want to doubt me, check. If you mistakenly bring up that thing, they will usually tell you forget about it and it has passed. Oh, I'm sorry now. Let's change topic. That one has gone. You hurt me. You're telling me it has gone. So what is on? What is on board now? Okay, I need your help for something. Odika. Third one, no matter what it is, you always come first. And any damage anybody cause you, they will never take liability for it. And you can't hold them liability for it. Especially if it's a damage they do emotionally and mentally. I heard you can sue people when they give you emotional trauma. But I believe you will spend more trauma and more emotion in that court case as well. So in a nutshell, always recall, rule number 1, please, always repay people for what they have done. Allow people to sacrifice themselves and reward them. Don't give anybody a reward that they did not sacrifice for. You will regret it. Why? Because if you reward people, it's good, and it's a way of training people to let them know you reward. If I'm ever going to be honest with you, every single fake friend I've ever had in my life, now me I attract them by myself. Or you must see why. I won't go find who are going to do things for what they don't ask me for. They talk about they won't contribute money, now me won't do all of them. It only makes people take you for granted, hate you, see you as money misroad. At the end of the whole day, you're one person they all make jest of. But when you start making them prove a point to you, it became a culture where everybody wants to please you, because they know when they please you, there is a return. But when you start giving them that return at first, when they have not done anything, firstly, that return usually enters people who are not even that productive. The ones who are not productive will now start saying, all the effort I'm putting in, I'm still getting things that people who are not productive are getting. So let me be what? Let me be less productive. Then the second one is that, okay, I think I talked about the second one. The third one is no matter what you do, you come first. I've been able to share what has been bothering me. And honestly, I feel good to know that it was not even my friends. I mean, I could still have a friend come in tomorrow, but that friend has to prove themselves first. I think my issue has been me doing I've learned my lessons, and we have exhausted it on this video. And I hope you learn. Even if I know people don't really learn from all these things. People just like it when you entertain them, so they laugh few seconds. And then when they still face something like this in life, they don't know how to approach it. Because the solution was there on Facebook, but the guy was not saying how it started. Who are you? Who is this guy in this house? You know, it's not controversial. They forget that life is actually very serious. After all the laugh or you laugh, you will still stop to the laugh cause oh more. But I never cook today, I never eat today, I don't get money, I dey owe people. Good. Look for things that will make you live more productive. If somebody is disturbing you from working, it's because certain things like this. Now, if you console yourself, it will not go. But if you learn lesson from it, it will not happen again. You saw what happened today, never to repeat itself again. Never in my life where they go use my head again. Why I go meet person first, go to show love. Where at the end of the whole day, and I can't be like say I be money miss road. Thank you.